I'm Kelly Rudy. On this edition of Paranet BizCast, John Torinus, Chairman of Serigraph. As an entrepreneur yourself, what mistakes have you made?
Well, the biggest one I've seen, and I'd made it myself, is being undercapitalized. Typically people think that, oh, I can start this with about half as much capital as they need, and then they get about 6 months down the road, the business starts to be successful and they run out of cash. So undercapitalization is a typical one. Another one is that they don't get themselves a good board of directors, a good board where they have to report in monthly or quarterly, and they're entrepreneurs and they got a great idea and they're typically smart, dynamic people, and they think, well, I can do this without any outside help. But you need that outside board of seasoned people to say, hey, wait a minute, did you think about this? Did you think about that? You missed a trick here. And so they wing it solo as opposed to surrounding themselves with some really smart, seasoned people with some scar tissue who've done startups before. So that absence of a board of directors going in is a big mistake. Sometimes they don't give enough attention to their management team. If you're an angel investor, that's the first thing you look at is who's on the management team. If they got if they got a team of people that complement each other. So one guy's got some expertise in sales, somebody else has expertise in finance, somebody else has expertise in operations. So you need a nice blend of talents to make any company work. And so angels are going to be looking at that. So those are probably the biggest ones I see. Undercapitalized, underadvised, and lack of attention to getting a complete management team.
I think it's safe to say that you're proud that you're an entrepreneur and that you've enjoyed it. So I guess, why did you enjoy it?
Well, the rewards are huge when, running your own company is great. I worked in a bunch of big companies and worked for the Marine Corps in big organizations. And if you want to be a creative, innovative person, it's far easier to do it in your own organization than it is to do it in the context of a big company. So I liked working for the big companies I work for, but it's much more exciting to be running your own show.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, just that I have a very high level of optimism that we can start a lot of companies in southeast Wisconsin and in Wisconsin in general, because we got a lot of smart, innovative people. And so we just need to create the ecosystem, the infrastructure, so that when somebody comes forward, an entrepreneur comes forward, they used to be sort of orphans. There was nobody around. They were lonely. Well, they're not lonely anymore. The minute we see a person who's got the capability of starting a company, we surround them with help and then get them introduced to the investors. So there's a system here now that works more efficiently for getting companies started. I always remember, I read the biography of Harry Quadracci, who started Quad Graphics. And on page 52, he writes that he was in almost total despair. He'd spent 3 years trying to get his company going. He couldn't find the investors. And he said, I was giving up, I was done, I was finished. His head was on his desk and he was practically crying. And finally, about 4 angels stepped forward to help Harry Quadracci start his company back in the 70s. Well, today there's 6,000 high-paying jobs at Quad Graphics because 4 angels stepped forward to help this very capable man get going. So it was excruciatingly difficult for Harry Quadracci to start his company. What we're trying to do is make it a little less difficult.